Hello and welcome back to the Get to Know Me series. I am Nicky Watt and this is a very special episode. So, joined again by Mark. How are you, mate?
Very good, very good. Just enjoying the Christmas is about to. Well, it's already arrived here in Austria. It'll be with you in the morning. So
yeah, because they go a day early in Europe, right?
Yeah, they do the evening together, gifts and stuff, and then chill on the next day, spend time together.
So yeah, like Mark said, it is Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you. So like tip a glass of red to you. So the video that we're going to do today, well, we had actually already done it, kind of, but it wasn't due to be released for about another 15 episodes because we've pre-recorded loads. And yeah, Mark gave me a shout earlier and basically said that the last video I did, we just had like 1,000 views or something on YouTube now, a controversial one. So we thought we'd go with well, it's not going to be controversial, but it's going to be interesting for the folks. So Mark, tell them what's going on.
Yeah, so we look at the comments, and a few of you have suggested, why don't you give the top 5 favourite teammates that you've played with? I think it's only fair. You've said the controversial ones. There's been some funny comments online. So let's see who agrees with your top 5 favourites, because there's going to be some beauties in there for sure.
Right. I love how many people enjoyed the video. I love how many players reached out. And I also love that Aaron Connolly came out of Twitter retirement to stand up for P-Attack. But like I said in the video, I don't think I actually said anything that bad about P-Attack in the video. I just gave my opinion. I also did say that I've heard good things about him in Romford this year. And Aaron coming on to say that, like if Aaron says that, I 100% take his word. Definitely trust Aaron Connolly's judgment. So, yeah. But I mean, he's doesn't mean that I had to get on with him as a teammate, but obviously it looks like his attitude's changed, so fair play to him. Yeah, so like I said, I think we'd already done this one, maybe scheduled to come out in like 20 episodes time or something. I think I changed my mind because I'm looking at the list down there now and I'm like, shit. And this is why this one's going to be super difficult, and it's definitely not going to be a 5.
Of course not.
I've added. It wasn't a 5 last time when we did it, and I've added 2 names since then.
I don't think any of the questions have been 5s.
I think I've managed a couple. Sorry, everybody, if you can hear the dog just hanging out and chilling in the background, chewing a bone. Normally for a podcast or stuff, I'll get her out, but I can't be asked. Right, yeah. So should we crack on with my?
Yeah, just one thing I want to point out that's very relevant. Your jersey behind with Zoom written on.
This one here.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm wrecking the place now. So this is a old school Basingstoke Weller Bison Elite League jersey. My very first one's behind me up there as well. I was on the far end. I don't think you'll be able to see it off camera. But yeah, that was my first Elite League jersey. That was a cool one. The old Minnesota Wild, and was just saying a minute ago, like, what good quality they were.
Yes, you can't beat stitched jerseys.
Well, otherwise you end up with a jersey like this. Oh, I'm gonna have to stand up now. So, yeah, you end up with a jersey like this. This is the neck hole of my Swindon jersey. This isn't the neck hole, sorry, that's your head hole. And then this is what happens when you fight on the ice. But yeah, right, let's get into it. Let's get cracking, because we're talking about jerseys. I'm getting distracted now. So yeah, favorite teammates, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to give us from number 5. So who were the close ones?
Okay, so like what? Just on the kind of outside looking in, I'm gonna go with Adam Bicknell. He was awesome, really good to me when we went to Swindon, not to Swindon, sorry, to Slough. Obviously, he's doing great things. He's now an Elite League referee, so huge shout out to him. And he was a great golf partner for the 4,000 and counting golf day. We had a lot of fun that day, so won't tell any stories about that day on here. Adam Greener, same sort of thing, same generation. Obviously, Greener, he's been on my ice hockey podcast. Everybody's heard his stories. They're as funny as you can be, even funnier when he's in person. Always looked out for the young guys when we were in Slough. He drove me to the rink. He drove me around everywhere. He looked after me. He made sure I was going to be all right. And yeah, just a hell of a beauty. Hutchie. I mean, I played with Hutchie in Basingstoke as a young guy, and we hung out quite a lot. And then he was my housemate in Peterborough. James Hutchison's one of the best guys you're ever going to meet. Who else have we got on here? Haven't even got to the top 5 yet. Fuck. Okay, I'm getting close to my top 5. I'm going to I'll give you one more name, and then I'll get into my top 5. Or 2 more names, I'll get into my top 5. Jonas Hoog, absolute beauty. As funny as they come, absolutely filthy hockey player. Yeah. I remember like the first time I was on the ice with him, like you can't make a bad pass to him. Doesn't matter where the puck's going. Like it could be eight inches off the ice behind him, and he still picks the puck up. It's ridiculous. So much skill. Yeah, points for fun. Absolute filthy hands, and yeah, just a great team guy. Sticking in that Swindon team as well, like from a bit further back, actually probably from that jersey there, John Sitko, absolute legend. So funny, great sense of humor, quite a dry sense of humor. Likes to have beers with the boys, and then when he gets on the ice, he just destroys people.
Yeah,
like I've seen him fucking make people's souls leave their body. It was gross. Some of the hits he made, you're on the bench, you're like, whoa. Like, and the other thing that I never understood about that is why people kept going to the middle of the ice when he was on the ice. It's like, surely after the first week of you seeing this guy do this to somebody once, you're like, nah, I don't want any fucking part of that. I'm going to stay over here alongside the boards. But yeah, he just used to kill guys. But yeah, let's get into the top 5 because that was quite long-winded. But yeah. I mean, and that's no disrespect to any of the other players that I've played with. I've played with so many good guys, like all the Scottish guys that came down and played in Slough, Bowie and Worley and fucking all those guys. And then, you know, Basingstoke, you got like Joe Greener, everyone like that. There's just so many good guys in hockey. So this is like a real tough one. But I think when you actually see my list, it'll be pretty easy to see why. And who's on there. I'm gonna go number 5. I'm gonna go Stormin Norman Pennington. He's a legend, mate. He's a veteran. Yeah. Again, I joined up with him in Slough, played with him for a bit on the island. You know, went to each other's weddings and all those other type things. We've always kept in touch. He's been, mate, that man could tell a story.
That's a classic EPL name.
It's a classic British hockey name. The man's done it. The man's done it all. He fought them all. Man, was he tough. Holy fuck, was he tough. And was he game as they come. He's an old man river now, though. He's all falling apart and shit. I'm thinking he had like shoulder surgery and all the other bits and pieces that come with doing what he did for as long as he did. But yeah, absolute beauty. And this is talking about him actually made me want to talking about this made me want to give him a call. So I think maybe I'll give him a little Christmas Eve call this evening. Yeah, so Norm, if you're watching, you could call me as well. Right, number 4. Number 4, number 3, it doesn't really matter which way around these two go. So Yaroslav Seski. I played with Yarrow for 2 years in Bracknell, our two best seasons in my opinion. And then obviously we played the following season. We all went down to Swindon together. And then me and Seski ended up in Basingstoke together. And then we ended up in Peterborough together. Yeah. So, yeah. And then he not only that, we've been friends for years. His parents used to come over. They bring us Slavitsa. We drink that, go out in Windsor, just get after it, have a time. I remember once where Yara was asleep outside Liquid's Windsor. Just but honestly, the times that we used to have in Bracknell, it was that 2 years, even though we fucking sucked, was so much fun. Like the fans were cool. We had a good relationship with the fans. The lads were all they were all good lads, and like mandatory team nights out after games and stuff. It was so good.
Didn't
so
he
much.
get into refereeing?
Yep, Seski's a ref. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not bad either. I've seen him do a couple of games. He's good. I think he's back in Czech now. So yeah, he's obviously going to be in my top 5 for sure. And hell of a hockey player as well. I haven't even talked about that. Man, was he good when he first came here. Holy shit. He was so good. And I got to play on the line with him for 2 years. But then I think we all complimented each other. Let's get on to the next one. Michael Pink.
Your pointer. Huh? Number 3.
Michael Pink, mate. Oh, anybody that has played with this guy will tell you he is the best guy. Terry Miles told the story on the 4,000 and counting. And we'd go hard in Bracknell, hard, and no one went harder than Pinky. He's still sitting there, and he used to wrap a duvet around him, yeah. And he'd sit there, and he'd have his glass of wine, and he'd have Tiesto on, and he'd be sat this close to the TV, yeah, and it'd be like fucking 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, and the TV's like boom, 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 and Pinky'd just be there with his wine, and then it would get to like Tuesday. And this is one of my favourites. He rang Tell, and he was like, "Tell, my legs, they no work. They no work. They no good. I no practice today." And he just wouldn't come to practice. And then he'd come at the weekend, and he'll get 3+4, like in one game. And you're like, "The fuck." And he told a story about, oh, so good. I'd love to get him on the pod. I imagine he can't even speak English anymore. His English was like hilarious, so funny. But yeah, I imagine where he's been out of practice, his English would be fucking brutal. It'd be hard getting a podcast out of him. But yeah, he told a story about his draft when he got drafted to San Jose. And he, do you know, like guys are buying like Armani suits and all that shit. Pinky gets like a thrift shop charity fucking suit, turns up to the draft, buckled, absolutely in one. But it's just like stereotypical Pinky. What else have we got about Pinky? He's such a good lad. Leaving the Bracknell Bees team car parked in a bush outside the Crownwood pub. And then the owner's coming into the locker room and be like, "Boys, you know where the team car is?" We're like, yeah, outside the team house. It's like, no, it's not. It's in a bush outside the pub in Crownwood. But yeah, oh, Michael Pink, what a guy. Absolute legend of a human being.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss him. What a guy he was. What's that?
I would agree with you just from the stories you've told me about him and Seski.
Oh, both of them.
Like, what a line you had there, man.
Oh, by the way, no one's got any idea how hard it was to play with those two. They were fucking nuts. They were nuts.
Really up your game.
Not only that, they were nuts. You want to hear the way they talk to each other on the bench? It was fucking insane. Insane. Anyone that played with us, bro, they would just go at it. And I mean, go at it. I'm sentiments. I'm sitting in the middle on the bench. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking pass. Rah, 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 rah. And then they start going and check. Once you know they start going and check. Like,
cool about.
Yeah, now it's on, right? And they're going at it. And it just used to be so funny. So intense. But they just wanted to win, man. They just wanted to be better. And because we were like, as a line, we were doing extremely well. It was noticed across the league. So it was like let's go. Let's keep this going, right? Okay. So then there was pressure on every game. That, and we didn't get any real secondary scoring as well. So if we weren't scoring, we were in trouble. But yeah, great guys, great teammates, great hockey players. Would have loved to have seen what sort of player Michael Pink was if he ever got in shape. Mate,
that's number 2, bud.
Number 2, fucking all-time beauty. It's Matt Ford. Fordy's just an all-timer. Anybody that knows him, anybody that's been around him, don't know. He's just got different energy, and his storytelling ability is second to none. Yeah.
Listen to the podcast. Anyone that's watching this video, listen to the 4,000 and counting podcast with Matt Ford.
That was so much fun. That was so much fun, and everybody that listened to it loved it. It's just good to talk to Fordy. He's always got a story. Even now, when I see him at the Ozone, he's like, "What?" He gets all excited, and I love it because when Fordy gets excited, you know there's going to be a good story coming. And it's the way he tells it. And also, anybody that knows him knows all his stories. They've heard them all. They've heard them all more than once. They've heard them all a lot more than once. And as soon as he goes to tell it, you're dialed right in again. Even though it never gets boring. He's got this ability. I don't know how he does it. And it's funny if you're not listening to me. Wait. It's all right, 40. And now he's doing great things at the Ozone. Him and Mizey are absolutely killing it. Oh, Mizey, I haven't played with. I didn't put him in there because he's junior, but yeah, obviously Danny Myers again, another great dude. But yeah, 40. I wouldn't be able to tell any of the stories on here that what me, him, and Bixie and Tell and everybody else got up to in our Slough days because we get in trouble. But honestly, it was so much fun hanging around with those boys, growing up with those guys, playing with them, and yeah, just like, you know, being mates with them. It's just good lads. Right, so what's that, number one now?
Yeah, number one. That's got to be the toughest decision you've ever made on these questions.
No, I think it's the easiest. Terry Miles.
Yeah.
Fucking hands down, and anyone that's played with him, it'd probably be quite easy for them to put him at number one as well. Not only is it absolute beauty, he's so funny, like ridiculously funny. Like before, like being an impressionist was cool and shit, and like, you know, like making sound effects with your voice, and he was doing all that on the back of the buses and stuff. I said, dude, you need to be a comedian. And instead he went and like, was a fucking alligator wrestler or some shit. And like, it's, yeah, it just had, I don't know, he just had something about him. We hooked up, me, him and Matty Tawalski on the Slough third line. And we were fucking awesome together and we had a great time. And then obviously I played with Slough for 2.5 years, so with Tell there. And then he came and joined Bicknell, and I played with him for 2 years there, where he was captain, and he was an amazing captain, such a good captain, really good leader, and all the boys, you know, like they would all ultimate respect for him. Man, is he funny? He could just tell stories, just way off stories, and that was the days like when I played for Slough. Like we had like free golf memberships, so. You know, Bowie, Worley, Paddy, Tell, whoever it was, we'd all going out, having fun, playing the course, having beers. I remember one day, I think it was Cup final day, Man U Arsenal. We got to about the 6th hole, and I wasn't a golfer then, really. I just played a little bit with the boys. Me and Tell just fucked off to the bar, and we were sitting in the bar, just watching the game, having a great time, and then by that time, all the boys finished like 18. And then, what everything like. Everything that just comes from being a teammate at Tell, like he makes the road trips fun. It makes being in the room fun. Do you know what I mean? I sat next to him in Bracknell as well, so it was just laugh a minute. Yeah,
I've got to say, all the names you've given, they're honestly such big characters in British hockey.
I'd say so.
Each and every one of them played a huge part in. You know, we don't have. There is some guys out there with some character, but the guys you've named there was some real. People will talk about them for years.
Well, there isn't a Norman Pinnington out there, is there?
No,
not even close.
You can't replicate any one of those guys.
No, you really can't. But that has been my top, whatever it was, and there's so many more fucking great guys that I didn't even mention. That I'll probably come off of here and be like, oh, what about him? What about him? I forgot I played with him, and. Played with so many good guys, and in fact, one of the comments on the video was like, "Give me your top 5 worst Brit teammates," and I found that really hard. I genuinely, I can't think of any. There's not one single guy that springs to my mind. Which, to me, you know, the imports were pretty fucking. Well, I said the worst players. It just happened to be imports. That was easy. I didn't really have to think about that. Brits, even whilst thinking, there isn't anybody that stands out. Like, so let alone a top 5 list, that would be a brutal struggle to do that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. That's a great thing. I'm just happy that that's not it. Maybe what about like I could do the worst 5 Brits to play against.
In fact, why don't everyone listening?
Yeah, let us know.
Comments what you would like Nicky to answer.
By the way, yeah, also, I don't want this to be strictly hockey related because I'm only doing this as a hockey one. All the other videos, there's boxers, MMA guys, there's a million
controversial ones.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in there. Bodybuilders, more controversial stuff, just stuff that I like. That, you know, I think a top 5 list good because it gives a bit of controversy. Someone can. I was just looking. There's one coming in the future. What if I was Prime Minister for a day? So you're in for a fucking treat for that one. You better buckle your seatbelts because that might be the longest one, and I don't even know where I was going with it, but it's powerful. But
I think that was a long episode, huh? That must have been the longest episode.
I think it was because there was, well, but it's hard when you're talking about those sort of subjects. But anyway, if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, please. Let's help this thing grow. Leave a comment, beat these algorithms, etc. And yeah, we will see you again for the regular schedule. But until then, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Enjoy your dinner tomorrow. And yeah, have a great day.